I'm a little cramped up against the wall here. Does that mean my back's up against the wall?
Now come the questions.
When isn't it? Okay, so we're getting ready for this thing. I know you're going to ask some questions about injuries and all that. We still don't know about Michael Mayer. We'll figure that out during the course of the week. He's still, getting cleared. And Colton had a high ankle sprain, and so that's what we're dealing with. And so you saw what we've done with that. Go.
You guys obviously traded for Stone for a reason, a player that you know pretty well. What does he bring to the table, and if this role increases your
We were with them, right from the beginning, and loved the kid and the work ethic, the smarts, his mentality is just right. He's started probably 14, 15 games or something, and started on the left side 4 or 5 times as well. So we're confident that he can do the job. That's why we went after him. And this is, unfortunately, the scenario that we arise puts him in playtime. So he's ready to go and excited about it and look forward to it. And I have no problem with him playing. I've played with him before.
In regards to Eric Stokes, how's he doing with this sprain knee?
He says he's fine. He says he's fine. We're going to take it easy on him first today. He'll practice today, but we're going to just go slow with it and make sure that he's right. And so he seems to be pretty confident about that. We'll see.
Were you hoping to get more out of your draft class, or is this kind of what you expected 4 games in?
I don't even have an evaluation for that. I don't have any expectation for the draft class. There's a couple guys, when you have a kid like Ashton that's picked up high like that, when we were slotting him into the starting spot really from the beginning, that's different than the rest of the guys. But we just want to keep growing with these guys and make the right decisions along the way. We don't do it because you think we should start guys because they've been drafted. That's not how we think. But I love playing young guys, and I love developing them, and we're in the process. You see that we're rotating the defensive tackles a little bit and trying to figure that out and make some good sense of that. On the offensive line in particular, we'd like to hold off as much as we can until these guys really can prove that they're ready. But that you don't always have that opportunity. So, Charles he's working like crazy with a really, concerns. But now I may have to play right now. So we're going to try to get that prepared. And if he does have to go in there and we need him, he'll go. And so, but there's no expectations other than the real obvious ones. You fill a spot with the guy. They got to show it, and we got to bring it to life.
Did you prepare for this game watching Shane Steichen's offense? Obviously, a guy that went to UNLV here in Vegas. What have you seen from him as a coach, and what has he done to build up?
They've made a significant shift in their effectiveness from the offseason to now, and Daniel Jones has been right in the middle of all of that. They've got good players. They've got extremely well-equipped skill people. Tyler, the new tight end, he's their number 1 targeted guy. The tailback is elite. And so it's been a tremendous connection between, let's say, Shane and Daniel, to get him to play at this high level so early in his time with them. They've come out flying, and they've had great success on offense so far. So Daniel's been the recipient of this opportunity, and thanks to Shane, I would think.
Back into that, obviously last week you guys did a lot better of a job at going after the run defense compared to week 3. How beneficial is that, kind of seeing the run defense get back on track, especially going against Jonathan?
Yeah, I would like to think it was an outlier that happened. We missed that stinking play that they go 60 yards on, with 4 guys miss the guy. But our run defense has been solid. We've been pretty consistent except for that big play there. This was a really good outing for us. I thought both sides of the ball really benefited from the week of practice. I've made a big deal about it today. We're going out on Comp Wednesday and expecting those guys to continue to improve. What I've known from the past is you stack Wednesday and Thursday practices, and if you keep having really good ones, then your team improves and they get better. And last week was a really good indication of that. Remember, I was grousing about the week before because of the walkthroughs and all that to try to bounce back, and we missed this element of the preparation process last week, 2 weeks ago, and we benefited this past week. Now we need to build on that, and you need to stack those days up. Wednesdays are huge for us, and it's the fundamental day, it's the line of scrimmage, it's all of those things on both sides of the football that can elevate and really come around. So it showed last week.
In playing, an undefeated team this week, does that give the team, more of an opportunity to get things going in the right direction?
Can you start the whole question again for me?
Say again?
Say the whole question again.
Oh, I thought they would. Excuse me.
That's okay. That didn't happen. Okay.
Disregard me, please. Go on.
No, I'm not disregarding you. Go ahead. You can do it.
But how'd you think Darian played coming in?
What a swing, man! That was awesome. That was awesome. Nice job, man. He did a nice job, and he's continued to tackle well on teams, and he had a couple shots in the game. He did well, so I'm hoping that we get a chance to get him in the game a little bit more than we did last week.
When someone like Brock Bowers like injures, he's like slowly trying to get back to 100%. How much does that change like the way you guys run as an offense, when like your top guys like fully?
Well,
feeling where he wants to be?
we're still trying to go to him. We're still trying to get the ball to him and use him for all of the great skills that he has. So nothing's changed in that regard. I think we're going to see him better as he gets rid of that brace that he's wearing, in a couple of weeks, whenever that happens. It's worked out well to have him playing. He's been out there and he's been able to practice and prepare and all of that, and he's an incredible asset to our team. But we would love for him to get the ball more.
Did you feel that coming to life a little bit in the fourth quarter? I think it was that last drive where you started going to him and you started making things happen.
It's kind of, unfortunately, it's happened in a couple of games where we've got him late more than early, and that's not by design at all. It's just we've been trying to get things going, but it just didn't happen. So, we'll continue to work at that. We love going to him.
He looked a little bit better though. I mean, did it feel to you like he was looking a little bit more?
I think he's gotten better I think he's looked, more himself every week.
How do you think so you're 4 games in? How do you think Jordan Meredith has handled the 7 spots so far?
He's handled it very capably. He's done a nice job of controlling the message inside and the communications and all of that. He's been very consistent. He had a play or two in the game, like guys have, when he got knocked around a little bit. But all in all, he's done a very, very creditable job. Let me say this too. I was really happy with JPJ's game. And he's going to start this week, and we're looking forward to seeing him contribute again. He had a good, significant role now that we can see it all happen. So you can kind of count on that. But I think both those guys, the more that they can be together, the better off they'll be, and it just helps for the continuity and the confidence and the speed of response, and as they're making their changes and their reads inside. So, but I think Jordan's done a nice job for us.
You've been with Geno for a while. How does he clear what happened last week?
He's done it. He's already done it. I thought he did a masterful job of accepting the responsibility. That you guys would all think is so obvious. The turnovers, there's a lot of reasons things happen, but as the quarterback, you got to shoulder it, and he did exactly what he should do. He took a day that he needed, and another day that he needed, and he's back to full speed, ready to go, and his brain is on, his mind is clicking, and he's excited about this opportunity.
I was wondering at what point where it becomes a serious concern. I know you guys, Geno's good at bouncing back.
I don't know that gauge. I don't know what you're asking me. I don't know what that gauge would be. At what point? I don't have a gauge for that. I've never gotten to that point.
From your experience, when a rookie like Ashton Jeanty has a game like he had, kind of maybe turns the corner, is there something to that where that confidence and that?
Yeah, I think everybody's kind of tuned into that. I mean, we were even talking about, if he just breaks out one, it might make a difference. He's been playing like this the whole time. He has not all of a sudden he changed. The results came because he's an extraordinary football player, and you could see him make those special plays where guys couldn't tackle him in the open field, and he could finish on the big run, which is gorgeous to see that. I just think it's we kind of felt like it was just a matter of time, and I think you guys thought that too, and everybody should. He's a tremendous player, and so, but he feels better about it, I heard him say something like you all worried about me or whatever, something, he ain't worried about it at all, and hasn't been, and continues to prepare with a really clear vision of his contribution, his ability to help out. And I mean, I love that this guy's on our team, and I love that everybody saw it, so you guys can look to the next issue that comes about.
He had 2 touchdown catches on Sunday. How beneficial would it be to get him even more involved?
Yeah, there's like as much as we can. We'd love to have him, because if you get him the ball in the perimeter like that, or even when you check it down to him, he's going to make somebody miss most of the time. And so I think it's becoming more clear. Our opponents will see it, and they'll try to take steps to keep that from happening. But it's a great asset, and we don't want to miss that. But I mean, we couldn't do everything all at once. Y'all wanted everything to happen at the same time, all at once. It took us a little while, and I feel very good about the progress that we're making. I'm really excited about what happened up front on both sides of the football, but with the running game and the pass protection last week, it just looked so much cleaner and sharper. It just shows you that there's good fortune ahead, and so we're going to keep believing that way.
For someone like Thomas Booker, who hasn't had before he came here, had a lot of tape and a lot of playing time, When you were looking at him before getting traded, what specifically were the things that stood out?
He was really consistent and he was really firm technique-wise. Didn't get knocked off the ball at all. Like you said, he hadn't had a lot of opportunities and hadn't had a lot of featured opportunities in passing down situations. They had some other stars on that team, so he couldn't get the opportunity. But he's contributed in a huge way, and he's just as steady as a rock. And I don't know if you guys have had a chance to talk to him, but he's a beautiful kid and he has a lot to offer all of us. And so. Again, I think we're just learning to appreciate him more, and he had a couple of really big plays in the game too, which was great.
We saw Vic Fangio's comments yesterday, but he said the way that kickers are allowed to handle the balls now has led to the long field goals, and it's changed defensive strategies in a way that you're worried kickers can kick longer now. I was wondering if that has impacted your thinking at all, and if you.
Well, first off, I love Vic and all, but I wouldn't really agree with that. I'm worried, that they're going to kick more long field goals. I'm not worried about it. They're doing it. It's a fact. So he went softball on that a little bit, but they are kicking the ball longer and they're making more contact. Now, did you say it's because they're handling the balls more?
Handle the balls now during the week is what he said.
Maybe. Yeah, you'd have to ask the kickers on that one. I wouldn't know. Something's going on though. Something's going on.
Thanks, Pete.
Good afternoon.
Geno, now that you've had a little time to reflect, look at tape and everything, what are some things you want to correct to get things going better?
Yeah, just take care of the football. I mean, that's the main thing that I saw from that game. I thought we played a good game on offense. I just think turnovers are obviously going to be a killer, and that hurt us in that game. But even with all that, we still had a chance to win at the end. So we have a really good team. Obviously, our record isn't what we want, but I feel good about us getting this thing going.
Feel a little bit better when you look at the tape and maybe the answers are right there, so it's not a big mystery.
No, I don't feel better at all about the loss, honestly.
Not the loss, but in terms of the bounce back, like there's answers to why it happened.
No, yeah, I know what you mean. There's always things that are correctable, but I mean you can't get those things back. That's just how life goes. Unfortunately, that's what happened in that game, but I'm still confident in my guys, still confident in myself, still confident in the trajectory of this season and where this team can go. So, I would wish, if you could look at things in hindsight, you always think of things you can get better at. But the reality is you got to make the plays when the plays are available. And so that's kind of how I look at it.
Geno, have you seen any commonalities between the interceptions that you've thrown?
They all came out of my hand and ended up in the defense's hand. So those are the things that I've seen that are in common, and those are the things we got to correct.
You and Ashton connected with 2 touchdown passes on Sunday. Just how beneficial is it when you're able to get him involved in the passing game the way you got there?
Yeah, we want to get Ashton involved any way we can. As you guys can see, as we've been saying all along, he's such a dynamic player. He's only, growing as he goes along, and I think we all are as an offense. But I think what he showed and displayed is what we've always seen from him. And, if we can get him going in the passing game, that's great. If we can hand it off to him and let him do his thing, that's great as well. Just always trying to get the ball in the hands of our playmakers, and he's one of those guys we got to get involved.
To that point, do you feel like the offense has to find a way to get Brock more involved too, more targets to Brock Bowers? And how could it look getting both of those guys going at the same time, Ashton and Brock?
Yeah, that's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. We want to see exactly what our offense can be when we play 4 quarters of committed football, of doing the right thing and just playing our style of football, playing our game. Getting Brock involved, getting Mike involved, getting all these guys involved, man. Just everybody can go out there and do their thing. Obviously, Ashton and Brock are, again, 2 of our leaders on offense and 2 guys that we really rely on. So we want to get them involved, and we want to get these things started, pretty fast here. So, we got to get rolling. We got to get rolling. And I think last week we made a step in the right direction, but we just got to keep, building this thing and making sure that when we get out there, we're executing to the highest of our abilities.
Watching the Colts on tape, obviously, it's a team that doesn't have a whole lot of star power necessarily in terms of name recognition, but what are some things that you see from them that make them so successful?
Well, I see, first of all, man, I would say they got star power. When you look up front with DeForest Buckner and Grover, I think they're 2 of the better interior guys that we're going to see all year. With Latu and Kwity Paye, 2 first-round draft picks, guys who are developing like we all are. And, they show a lot of explosion on tape. So things we got to account for, Zaire Franklin, middle linebacker, 150 tackles a year. He does this thing every single year. And then we know about Cameron Bynum in the back end. 2 proven corners with Travarius Ward. and Xavier Howard. So they got guys all over the place, man. All those guys are capable and can make plays. It's about how we execute, though. We're going to see good teams every single week. And we're a good team, so we got to go out there and prove it. We got to go out there and execute, prove ourselves, and I feel really, really good about it.
Geno, you always talk about you being your toughest critic, and you're always going to be hard on yourself. How in game do you not think about the last play if it was a bad play? Just clear.
Well, you gotta focus, man. It's not easy to do, but luckily for me, I've had a lot of obstacles that I've had to overcome in my life, and it's really always gave me great perspective. So anytime there's a mishap or a play that you wish you could have back, you really can't get it back. So you got to focus on the next play, and so that's what I do. I focus on being where my feet are, being here in the right now. Again, things outside of my control are the things that I can't get back. I got to focus on what I can control, and I feel like I do a pretty good job at that.
Every week we've asked you about the team you're going up against, like you just did. You really dive into like, hey, here's what I need to look out from this guy. Seems like you have a really good handle on personnel, probably more than other quarterbacks we've heard. Do you think is that part of your edge, like really diving into the guys you're going up against?
Yeah, I mean, I'm film junkie. I study a bunch of ball. I study these guys, as much as I can. I try to, devote all my time to this game and being the best quarterback I can be. I feel really bad about the turnovers, and I think some of it's been unlucky, but I do understand that that's a part of the process as well. And so for me, studying my opponent, you always gain that edge, but there's never enough. To me, you can never watch enough film, so I try to study as much as I can.
Leader, what's been your message to the team and getting the progressions going, keeping the process going each week as you head into Indianapolis?
Yeah, I think we got a great group of leaders on this team. Even when, again, when I'm in having a game like that where it's like, man, things aren't going right for me. You got Max, you got Jamal, you got Ashton, you got so many guys that are, just breathing life into me and giving me that positivity we need. And so on this team, as you know, with our head coach, we're always going to be upbeat. But we also have a great, locker room leadership. And all of the guys are just focusing on getting better week to week, you know what I mean, going out there and putting the best product out there for our fans. And so, for me, continue to be myself, continue to be the same guy every day. I think this is more now of a time to, really showcase who I am and go out there and really execute and find our way. And I think we got the right guys to do it.
What kind of adjustment is there, if any, with a new left tackle stepping in?
Those are things we have to figure out, man. Like as the game goes on, as we get through practice this week, just talking to Stone, what is he comfortable with? How can we help him? And then when we get into the game, the same thing. How does he feel out there? What is he comfortable with? And then how can we help him? But he's not out there alone. It's 11 guys on the field. He got 10 other guys with him that got to go out there and execute so he can execute. So we all just got to play our game, do our job to the best of our ability, and allow Stone to go out there and be himself.
Ashton, we talk about the different leaders on the team. Obviously, he's a young guy, but we see on the tape, after the interceptions, he's kind of talking to you and everything. What's his attitude like out on the field, and is it kind of rare his attitude that he does have for a rookie?
Yeah, I would say it's rare. He's super calm, man. Like super calm, super, collected. He's got a way about himself that nothing surprises him. He knows who he is. I think that's very important. He knows the type of player he is and what he can do. And he also, he has great leadership. I mean, again, when something goes bad, he's the first one to run up to him and be like, hey, man, next play. And that's something that, when you see a rookie doing that, he's not the only guy doing it, but, for him to be a rookie and to have that much poise, it speaks volume to who he is.
Okay, guys.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Ashton, I don't think there was any doubt that you were going to have a game like you had, at some point as an NFL player. But how good was it to get that under your belt, just to have a game like that, to be Ashton?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, it's a testament. Coaches, putting together a great game plan, and then O-line, receivers, tight ends, doing a great job blocking, and then making my job easy, and then going out there breaking tackles. Is what I'm best at.
What was those coaches or the conversations with the coaches like, going back to your stance and also just kind of, hey, how do I maximize what we're trying to do out here?
Yeah, I mean, just all of us being in alignment, honestly. Sometimes you just got to, prove that something can work, and, that's all it is.
What is it about that stance that, first of all, when did it come about, I guess?
It came about really, I'd say more my junior year in college. Just kind of did it. Coaches will always tell you to kind of in more of the bent stance, but I don't know. I just feel more comfortable that way, more relaxed, and then, just reading the defense, can't really explain it more different than that, but that's just what I do.
Has there been resistance prior? I mean, I would imagine like a baseball batter that might have a funky swing or whatever. People are always trying to, no, you should do it this way.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say really resistance. I just think, it's different, so a lot of times when something's different, it doesn't always, come off to people that it could work that way, but, it works, so no need to change it.
You talked about on Sunday, you talked about the offensive line, how they've been putting in their work now, left tackles down and Stone's up. How quickly can you get on the same page with the O-line?
Yeah, just continuing to communicate, like we've been doing, having our meetings, knowing how they're blocking, knowing what they're thinking. The same thing goes, no matter who's in the game. And, I got full trust in Stone coming in, and we'll be able to do great things.
Last week, Jackson jumped back in the lineup too. What did you see out of him when you guys went and watched that one back?
Yeah, I mean, he played a hell of a game. I mean, great effort. I mean, on one of the screens we threw to Brock, I mean, he laid out, totally blew up the safety. So you just love to see that kind of effort, and it's exciting to have somebody like that to play alongside with.
Geno mentioned that when he threw an interception, you said, "Hey, next play, next play." That's a leadership role from a rookie. Where did that come from you?
That's something that I've always had in me, just being a leader, but not only that, just being a great teammate. Because when I've made bad plays, Geno's been one of the first people to come up to me and let me know, like, hey, you got this. You're one of the best players on this team. We're gonna need you. So I'm keeping that same mentality with him. Like, I got your back. Whatever happens on the field.
A lot of talk about mentality, but I saw you kick out of one of the tackles that you broke, the kind of high kick, and made your way to the end zone on one of the long runs. And I was just wondering, what was going through your mind in the moment, like to be able to have that ability to continue breaking tackles and to do it with like such authority.
Yeah, I mean, obviously O-line did a great job. Titans, everybody blocking, so I kind of broke free. And then, most of the times when somebody's chasing you from behind, they're going to kind of wrap around you and then go down to your legs. So, I mean, you just keep them legs running, they ain't going to be able to take you down,
You mentioned that play by Jackson on that screen pass. When that gets shown on film in offensive meetings, is there something to be said about that when you guys see that and it kind of fires everybody up in terms of team camaraderie?
Yeah, most definitely. I think the most important thing, with how we, been emphasizing how we play ball here is, effort. And that play shows extreme effort to get the job done.
Ashton, on a little bit separate note, I guess some of your formative years were in Naples and Italy, right? Did you ever relate to like Kobe Bryant's story, kind of similar background there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure the school he went to, Aviano, was like, it's not too far from them. We actually played them a few times, but yeah, just being overseas at a younger age, and then coming back to the U.S. and making it to the big leagues. So I guess there's some similarities there for sure.
All right, thanks, Ashton.
Yep.